I'm gonna keep going off of that.
Keep going.
You said if you find yourself saying no to that question, right? Can I sustain this for 10 years?
Yeah.
There's some other things maybe we need to look at there. And I find, I think this is, maybe some people can identify with this too. The folks who go, what, to put myself through those workouts? First of all, framing it as a workout versus training. Or practice,
that's another
right?
big.
We'll talk about that in another
That's another topic.
podcast.
Let me put that on my notes here.
but I'm going to use that specifically in this instance. So can I do that same workout? Can I do day A over and over for 10 years? Holy cow. If Nick keeps programming it like that, I don't think I can. That's not the point, right? If you're saying that, it sounds like when you come in for your workout, and I'm not blaming, by the way, I'm trying not to point, but it sounds like if you're coming in for your workout and you're experiencing this dread over something like that, maybe there's a bit of overtraining going on, or maybe your goals aren't quite right. Maybe trying to burn the 777th calorie on your FitnessPal watch, whatever. Sorry, I didn't mean to name drop there, but if you're trying to do it just for what the watch says, do it for the watch. I think there's something fundamentally wrong there. I think that the shift of mindset of I would like to show up for my training or my practice daily. And no matter what the screen happens to say today, great. I'm going to look at it as an opportunity to work on each of those individual movements. And if I don't feel great today, if I feel terrible, maybe I just do body weight for half of those movements, whatever, as long as I keep moving through those ranges of motion and doing those things. And if it's framed like that, maybe that question won't sound so bad anymore. Mm-hmm. You go 10 years of doing that, of being able to come in and use my own judgment as a physically active adult and say, yeah, I think I could do that for 10 years. Then that's awesome. That's a really great first step.
That's so good.
Right?
Let's keep going with it, because when we talked about earlier that like all of us as coaches, we've been doing pretty much the same things day in and day out. Like I'll get in here now, finally I can get back to a routine where like you see me, I'm in here like 3 days a week doing strength training. Over the summer it was like 3 to 4. Before that it was like 3 to 4. Like that's always been the goal. That's really what's sustainable for my life right now. Yeah. With having 2 young kids, having a business to keep going, having a wife to support, having a team to support. There's so many different components of my life that no one sees, but like I'm still dealing with and doing. I know that realistically 3 days a week is what I can commit to and stay as like a non-negotiable, because fitness is part of my life. Right, getting this place off the ground, for the first 2.5 years of getting this place off the ground, I was not training. I was like few and far between a workout kind of person, like just quickly get something in, like 15 minutes between 2 clients. Like, I'm just going to like pump this machine right here. Like just for some like arms, do some squats on the squat rack, just real quick, like body weight stuff, or like just like bare bones, like bar stuff. But like I lost track of myself because I had my focuses on different things. But let me bring it back. So we were talking about like keeping it consistent without being like overboard. So back to that question, can you do it for 10 years? Can you sustain that for 10 years? The answer is with strength training, you can. Because as we know, as coaches and people who do this on a regular basis and coach hundreds of, and now I'm at the point where I've had thousands of adults work with us, work with me. We can adjust and modify and change and regress and progress all the different movements, so you can every day know that for 10 years consistently you can show up and get it in. Because good luck, like for real, it's like good luck living life without movement.
Yeah, or fearing movement,
or
for that
fearing
matter.
movement.
Yeah,
good luck.
movement.
Like that sounds terrible. It sounds like a terrible life. If you have kids or grandkids, or you want to eventually have kids, or you have animals who are children to you, if you have anything or anyone in your life that depends on you doing anything than sitting in a chair, and even people, if you're chair bound, movement is still something that you, I'm sure, like want to do and want to get back to. So you're finding other ways of moving upper body stuff and moving around different ways.
That's important to note too. Yeah.
So many different components.
Right.
So strength training as a foundation can get you to the kind of changes and lifestyle that you want to have to be able to do different things. I wouldn't be doing these half marathons or even have thought about doing them if I hadn't been doing strength training my entire life and doing like strength training and resistance training. We say strength training, but that's really just resistance training, whether it's body weight, whether it's using tools like dumbbells or barbells or kettlebells or sandbags, whatever it is. Strength training is just the terminology that we use here at our facility because it helps paint a picture for what we're doing. We're developing strength. We are training our bodies to develop strength that is sustainable and long-lasting, and it's going to help get us away from or out of pain or stay away from the possibility of producing pain. And pain's part of it, normal, right? So we're saying, I'm like going all over the tangent, but
it's not necessarily bad.
It's not bad.
Like chronic pain's not great.
It tells us what's going on so we can be more aware of what we need to do to change things and make things better for ourselves to then get out of it or away from it. So sometimes pain is a great indicator that we are doing too much. If I run 4 days in a row, my knees are, I'm little look into the next podcast episode. My knees are going to be killing me. I'm in my mid 30s and my knees should not be killing me, quote, air quotes, from running only 13 miles. But yet they do. And so I realized that I need to get back to a movement understanding and get back to my strength training because I have not prioritized that. I can't even imagine people who are running miles and miles and miles and dealing with this pains and just like running through it. Like I ran through it because I have like this mental fortitude to be able to get through, but I'm also like backing off. I'm like, whoa, today I was running, I had the goal of running 10 miles. I only did 6 because I was like, well, my knee's starting to bother me. I'm going to call it. And like, thankfully I'll be able to run again in the next 2 days after I just take some more time to mobility and do some stretching and do some recovery and then keep on that path, right? It's not just a quick fix. Yeah. But all the tangents, I mean, it's important. I think people watching this can see how Matt's brain actually works.
Oh, gosh, when you pair us together.
When you put us together, we're back and forth. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of great stuff that comes from these podcasts right now. But for now, I'm going to wrap up my part and have you jump back in.
Cool.
We can adjust it because we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So we do strength training. We have the mental, the habit built in of like, okay, I'm going to show up here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I'm going to lift. And those days, I'm going to do push movements, upper body and lower body on one day. I'm going to do pull movements, upper body, lower body on one day. And then I'm going to do accessory or anything else I don't feel like that has gotten enough attention on that third day. So I'm getting everything worked. I'm going to spend an hour to an hour and 15 minutes doing it, including my warm-up. I'm getting all that stuff done. But I'm going to be lifting more than my body weight for those major movements. Mm-hmm. I'm going to focus on really good movements and only do like 8 to 12 reps for me right now. Because like I really want to make sure that I'm controlling every movement, that I'm being mindful of every repetition, that I am moving really well and not just compensating. Athletes are the best compensators in the world. They're overcompensating for everything as athletes. And that's sometimes how they get to be these all-star, top-notch like athletes. Oh my gosh, let's throw Alysha under the bus just for a moment. Alysha is an all-star. I mean, if you don't know Alysha is one of our head coaches here. She's the head of our athletic development program and also one of the head coaches for our adult program. But Alysha is an amazing, I actually haven't even gotten to like see it, like witness it in person yet. I still need to. But an amazing basketball player who played professionally for 5 years overseas. She's strong. She's confident. She's capable of so much. But 3 years ago, 2 years ago, even a year ago, her squats and her deadlifts really could use some work. Like she understands the movement, but she had like big winks and a big like a tuck underneath when she would squat and like the big pelvis like flare back, like the butt kicking out.
We could probably even just summarize by saying the integrity wasn't quite there.
The integrity wasn't quite there. Yeah. So the point is, as an athlete, she was really good at overcompensating because she had this naturally developed talent and this strength that was able to help her overcompensate to be able to produce such amazing results on the court and off the court as being a strong athlete. But when we looked at it from a movement standpoint, when we looked at it from a can we get stronger and build a better foundation standpoint, she really had to dial it back and take the time to be more mindful and aware and slow it down and back off in the weight. And now her everything is so... Man, night and day. Oh my gosh.
That video JaQuan made of her.
That's solid. That little reel. Check out on Instagram. Go follow Alysha on Instagram and check out that Instagram post.
It's definitely going to be dated by the time people listen to this.
Yeah, but it's so good. It's on her reels. Go look at her reels. Good.
Pull those kettlebells up and just throw. Oh man, that was awesome. Yeah, it was cool. I think we can probably begin wrapping this concept up and trying to summarize, the point that we've been getting across here. In addition to all the fun chatter we've had just between us, I think as brothers, but again, when we're looking at bird's eye view of this topic of longevity, lifespan, what can we do over a long period of time? Although we focused on strength training or resistance training today as our major focus on the topic, we kind of discussed it in a way that you can apply it to so many different concepts, including, and with a couple examples, diet, and not diet as in, that diet or this diet, but like what you consume on a regular basis. So we call that diet, just to help clarify the terms there that we're using. You can apply it to your mindset. You can apply it to your relationships with your family, with your friends. Is this a long-lasting, healthy relationship with so-and-so or whatever? Yeah. Oh man, that was kind of like, I was trying to wrap that one up. Maybe you can do
that
it
was
a little
good.
bit more
Yeah.
justice.
Well, and that's, I think, to finish off, hopefully where you're going was like, you have to find things that are sustainable long term, and you have to like fitness as part of a well-balanced diet. Is actually, it has to be something that's long-term sustainable. So can you see yourself doing it for 10 years? Back to the original statement of this podcast, which was what? You have it written down.
Yes. Simplifying strength training for longevity.
Simplifying strength training for longevity. So are you in your life? So let's do a little workshop, a little workshop. Let's do a little moment here. Let's think about it. Are you keeping things simplified to improve your longevity in whatever you're trying to work on? Whether it's trying to live a healthier lifestyle, right? We all you may have this goal. You might be listening and have this goal of like getting rid of a bunch of unwanted weight that you're carrying, right? We know that's important for many factors, right? You're like having excess weight in terms of body fat is going to bring on health risks such as cardiovascular issues, such as like joint issues, like health of your joints, health of your tendons, health of your body and your mind and everything else. There are so many different components. If your goal is to make that change, is it sustainable for you to do that for 10 years?